more earnestly, and his sweat was like drops of blood falling to the ground. When he rose from prayer and he went back to the disciples, he found them asleep, exhausted from sorrow. Why are you sleeping? He asked them. Get up and pray so that you will not fall into temptation.
Jerusalem, 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 Shema, Hazabi, Teshuvah. Hear and return to Yahweh, your Elohim. Altogether, even my best friend, the one I trusted most, the one who shared my food, has turned against me.
Yahweh has determined to tear down the wall around the daughter of Zion. He stretched out a measuring line and did not withhold his hand from destroying. He made ramparts and wall laminate. Together they wasted away. Her gates have sunk into the ground. Their bars he has broken and destroyed. Her king and her princes are exiled among the nations. The Torah is no more, and her prophets no longer find vision from Yahweh. The elders of the daughter of Zion sit on the ground in silence. They have sprinkled dust on their heads and put on sackcloth. The young women of Jerusalem have bowed their heads to the ground. My eyes fail from weeping. I am in torment within. My heart is poured out on the ground because my people are destroyed, because children and infants faint in the streets of the city.
Jerusalem, 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 Shema, Hazabi, Teshuvah. Hear and return to Yahweh, your Elohim. Altogether, the sorrow of my heart is so great that it almost crushes me. Stay here and watch.
What can I say for you? With what can I compare you, O daughter of Jerusalem? To what can I liken you that I may comfort you, O virgin daughter of Zion? Your wound is as deep as the sea. Who can heal you? The visions of your prophets were false and worthless. They did not expose your sin to ward off your captivity. The oracles that gave you were false and misleading. All who pass your way clap their hands at you. They scoff and shake their heads at the daughter of Jerusalem. Is this the city that was called the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth?
Jerusalem, 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 Shema, Hazabi, Teshuvah. Hear and return to Yahweh, your Elohim. Altogether, behold, the hour has come for the Son of Man to be handed over to the power of sinful men.
I am the man who has seen affliction by the rod of his wrath. He has driven me away and made me walk in darkness rather than light. Indeed, he has turned his hand against me again and again all day long. He has made my skin and my flesh grow old and has broken my bones. He has besieged me and surrounded me with the bitterness and hardship. He has made me dwell in the darkness like those long dead. He has walled me in so I cannot escape. He has weighed me down with chains. Even when I call out or cry for help, he shuts out my prayer. He has barred my way with blocks of stone. He has made my paths crooked.
The shadow of accusation.
Just as he was speaking, Yehuda, one of the 12, appeared. With him was a crowd armed with swords and clubs sent from the chief priests, the rabbis of the Torah, and the elders. Now the betrayer had arranged a signal with them. The one I kiss is the man. Arrest him and lead him away under guard. Going at once to Rebbe Yeshua, Yehuda said, Rabbi, and kissed him. The men seized Rebbe Yeshua and arrested him. Then one of those standing near drew his sword and struck the servant of the high priest, cutting off his ear. Am I leading a rebellion, said Rebbe Yeshua, that you have come out with swords and clubs to capture me? Every day I was with you, teaching in the temple courts, and you did not arrest me. But the scriptures must be fulfilled, that everyone deserted him and fled. A young man wearing nothing but a tallit was following Rebbe Yeshua. When they seized him, he fled naked, leaving his tallit behind. Then they took Rebbe Yeshua to the high priest, and all the chief priests, elders, and rabbis of the Torah came together. Rabbi Kifa followed him at a distance, right into the courtyard of the high priest. There he sat with the guards and warmed himself at the fire. The chief priests and the whole council were looking for evidence against Rebbe Yeshua so that they could put him to death, but they did not find any. Many testified falsely against him, but their statements did not agree. Then some stood up and gave this false testimony against him. We heard him say, I will destroy this temple, and in 3 days will build another, not made by man. Yet even then their testimony did not agree. Then the high priest stood up before them and asked Rebbe Yeshua, Are you not going to answer? What is this testimony that these men are bringing against you? But Rebbe Yeshua remained silent and gave no answer. Again the high priest asked him, Are you the Messiah, the Son of the Blessed One? I am, Rebbe Yeshua, said Rebbe Yeshua. And you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on the clouds of heaven. The high priest tore his clothes. Why do we need any more witnesses, he asked. You have heard the blasphemy. What do you think? They all condemned him as worthy as death. Then some began to spit at him. They blindfolded him. They struck him with their fists and said, Prophesy. And the guards took him and beat him.
I am closed in. I cannot escape. My eyes are weak from suffering.
O Yahweh, the Elohim who saves me, day and night I cry out before you. May my prayer come before you. Turn your ear to my cry, for my soul is full of trouble and my life draws near the grave. I am counted among those who have gone down to the pit. I am like a man without strength. I am set apart with the dead, like the slain who lie in the grave, whom you remember no more, who are cut off from your care. You have put me in the lowest pit in the darkest depths. Your wrath lies heavily upon me. You have overwhelmed me with all of your waves. Selah. You have taken me from my closest friends and have made me repulsive to them. I am confined and cannot escape. My eyes are dim with grief. I call to you, O Yahweh, every day. I spread out my hands to you. Do you show your wonders to the dead? Do those who are dead rise up and praise you? Is your love declared in the grave, your faithfulness in destruction? Are your wonders known in the place of darkness, or your righteous deeds in the land of oblivion? But I cry to you for help, O Yahweh. In the morning my prayers come before you. Why, O Yahweh, do you reject me and hide your face from me? From my youth I have been afflicted and close to death. I have suffered your terrors and am in despair. Your wrath has swept over me. Your terrors have destroyed me. All day long they surround me like a flood. They have completely engulfed me. You have taken my companions and loved ones from me. The darkness is my closest friend.
I'm closed in. I cannot escape. My eyes are weak from suffering. Hear me, O Yahweh, when I call to you. Be merciful and answer me.
Yahweh is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Yahweh is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When an evil man advances against me to devour my flesh, when my enemies and my foes attack me, they will stumble and fall. Though an army besiege me, my heart will not fear. Though war break out against me, even then will I be confident. One thing I ask of Yahweh, this is what I seek, that I may dwell in the house of Yahweh all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of Yahweh and to seek him in his temple. For in the day of trouble he will keep me safe in his dwelling. He will hide me in the shelter of his tabernacle and set me high upon a rock. Then my head will be exalted above the enemies who surround me. At his tabernacle will I sacrifice with shouts of joy. I will sing and make music to Yahweh. Hear my voice when I call, O Yahweh. Be merciful to me and answer me. My heart says to you, seek his face. Your face, Yahweh, will I seek. Do not hide your face from me. Do not turn your servant away in anger. You have been my helper. Do not reject me or forsake me, O Elohim, my Savior. Though my father and my mother forsake me, Yahweh, you will receive me. Teach me your way, O Yahweh. Lead me in a straight path because of my oppressors. Do not turn me over to the desires of my foes, for false witnesses rise up against me, breathing out violence. I am still confident in this. I will see the goodness of Yahweh in the land of the living. Wait for Yahweh. Be strong and take heart and wait for Yahweh.
All together. Hear me, O Yahweh, when I call to you. Be merciful and answer me. When I lie down, I will go to sleep in peace. You alone, O Yahweh, keep me perfectly safe.
Answer me when I call you, O my righteous Elohim. Give me relief from my distress. Be merciful to me and hear my prayer. How long, O men, will you turn my glory into shame? How long will you love delusions and seek false gods? Know that Yahweh has set apart the godly for himself. Yahweh will hear when I call him. In your anger, do not sin. When you are on your beds, stretch your heart and be silent. Search your heart and be silent. Offer right sacrifices and trust in Yahweh. Many are asking, who can show us any good? Let the light of your face shine upon us, O Elohim. You have filled my heart with greater joy than when your grain and your new wine abound. I will lie down and sleep in peace, for you alone, O Yahweh, make me dwell in safety.
All together. When I lie down, I will go to sleep in peace. You alone, O Yahweh, keep me perfectly safe. Messiah himself suffered for you and left an example, so that you would follow his steps, and gave you the power so you could follow his steps. Altogether, he committed no sin, and no one ever heard a lie come from his lips. When he was insulted, he did not answer back with an insult. When he suffered, he did not threaten. The shadow of crucifixion. Gerald?
Then the governor's soldiers took Rabbi Yeshua into the praetorium and gathered the whole company of soldiers around him. They stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him, and then twisted together a crown of thorns and set it on his head. They put a staff in his right hand and knelt in front of him and mocked him. "Hail, King of the Jews," they said. They spit on him and took the staff and struck him on the head again and again. After they had mocked him, they took him off the robe and put his own clothes on him. Then they led him away to crucify him. As they were going out, they met a man from Cyrene named Shimon, and they forced him to carry their crossbeam. They came to a place called Golgotha, which means the place of the skull. There they offered Rabbi Yeshua wine to drink. mixed with gall. But after tasting it, he refused to drink it. When they had crucified him, they divided up his clothes by casting lots. And sitting down, they kept watch over him there. Above his head, they placed the written charge against him. This is Yeshua, the king of the Yahudim. 2 zealots were crucified with him, one on his right hand and one on his left.
He was treated harshly, but he rendered it humbly. He never said a word. Altogether, he was oppressed and afflicted, yet he did not open his mouth. He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is silent, so he did not open his mouth.
So the soldiers took charge of Yeshua, carrying his own crossbeam. He went out to the place of the skull, which in Arabic is called Golgotha. Here they crucified him, and with him 2 others, one on each side, and Yeshua in the middle. Pilate had a notice prepared and fastened to the tree. It read, Yeshua of Nazareth, the king of the Yehudim. Many of the Yehudim read this sign, for the place where Rabbi Yeshua was crucified was near the city, and the sign was written in Aramaic, Latin, and Greek. The chief priest of the Yehudim protested to Pilate, Do not write the king of the Yehudim, but that this man claimed to be king of the Yehudim. Pilate answered, What I have written, I have written.
We all like sheep have gone astray. Each of us has turned to his own way, and Yahweh has laid on him the iniquity of us all. Altogether, but he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was upon him, and by his wounds we are healed.
Later, knowing that all was now completed, and so that the scripture would be fulfilled, Rabbi Yeshua said, I am thirsty. A jar of wine vinegar was there. So they soaked a sponge in it, but the sponge on a stalk of the hyssop plant, and lifted it to Rabbi Yeshua's lips. When he had received the drink, Rabbi Yeshua said, It is finished. With that, he bowed his head and gave up his spirit.
The next is the shadow of death. Jennifer, would you come?
It was now about the 6th hour, and the darkness came over the whole land until the 9th hour, for the sun stopped shining, and the curtain of the temple was torn into 2. Rabbi Yeshua called out with a loud voice, Avinu, into your hands I commit my spirit. When he had said this, he breathed his last. The centurion, seeing what had happened, praised Elohim and said, Surely this was a righteous man. When all the people who had gathered to witness this sight saw what took place, they beat their breasts and went away. But all those who knew him, including the woman who had followed him from Galilee, stood at the distance, watching these things.
My enemy has put me in a dark prison. I am in deep despair.
O Yahweh, hear my prayer. Listen to my cry for mercy. In your faithfulness, in your righteousness, come to my relief. Do not bring your servant into judgment, for no one living in righteous before you. The enemy pursues me, he crushes me to the ground. He makes me dwell in darkness like those long dead. So my spirit growls faint within me. My heart within me is dismayed. I remember the days of long ago. I meditate on all your words and consider what your hands have done. I spread out my hands to you. My soul thirsts for you like a parched land. Selah. Answer me quickly, O Yahweh, my spirit fails. Do not hide your face from me, or I will be like those who go down to the pit. Let the morning bring me word of your unfailing love, for I have put my trust in you. Show me the way I should go, for to you I lift up my soul. Rescue me from my enemies, O Yahweh, for I hide myself in you. Teach me to you your will, for you are my Elohim. May your good spirit lead me on a level ground. For your name's sake, O Yahweh, preserve my life. In your righteous, bring me out of trouble. In your unfailing love, silence my enemies. Destroy all my foes, for I am your servant.
Altogether. My enemies have put me in a dark prison. I am in deep despair. Save me from my enemies, my Elohim. Protect me from those who attack me.
Deliver me from my enemies, O Elohim. Protect me from those who rise up against me. Deliver me from evildoers, and save me from bloodthirsty men. See how they lie and wait for me. Fierce men conspire against me for no offense of sin of mine. O Yahweh, I have done no wrong, yet they are ready to attack me. Arise to help me. Look in my plight. O Yahweh, El Shaddai, the Elohim of Israel, rouse yourself to punish all the nations. Show no mercy to the wicked traitors. Selah. They return at evening, snarling like dogs, and prowl about their city. See what they spew from their mouth, yet spew out of sword from their lips. And they say, who can hear us? But you, Yahweh, laugh at them. You scoff at all nations. O my strength, I watch for you. O Elohim, are you my fortress, my loving Elohim? Elohim will go before me, and I will let my gloat over those who slander me. But do not kill them, O Lord, our shield or my people will forget. In your might make them wander about and bring them down for the sins of their mouth, for the words of their lips. Let them be caught in their pride, for the crushes and lies they utter consume in wrath. Consume them, till they are no more. Then I will be known to the end days of the earth, that Elohim rules over Jacob. Selah. They return at the evening, snarling like dogs, and prowl about the city. They wander about for foods, and howl if no satisfied. But I will sing of your strength in the morning. I will sing of your love, for you're my fortress, my refuge in times of trouble. O my strength, I praise to you. You, O Elohim, are my fortress, my loving Elohim.
Altogether. Save me from my enemies, my Elohim. Protect me from those who attack me. Show us your constant love, O Yahweh. Give us your saving help.
You showed favor to the land. O Yahweh, you restored the fortunes of Jacob. You forgave the iniquity of people and covered all their sins. Selah. You set aside all your wrath and turned from your fierce anger. Restore us, again, O Elohim, our Savior, and put away our displeasures towards us. Will you be angry with us forever? Will you prolong your anger through all the generations? Will you not receive us again, that your people may rejoice in you? Show us your unfailing love, O Yahweh, and grant us salvation. I will listen to what Yahweh, the Elohim, will say. He promises peace to his people, his saints, but let them not return to folly. Surely his salvation is near those who fear him, that his glory may dwell in our land. Love and faithfulness meet. Together, righteousness and peace kiss each other. Faithfulness springs forth from the earth, and righteousness looks down from heaven. Yahweh will indeed give what is good, and in our land will build its harvest. Righteousness goes before him and prepares the way for his steps.
Altogether, show us your constant love, O Yahweh. Give us your saving help. Messiah died for sins once and for all, the righteousness for the unrighteous. Altogether, in order to bring us to the throne of Yahweh. The shadow of the tomb. Jennifer, will you?
And after this, Joseph of Arimathea, being a disciple of Rabbi Yeshua, but secretly for fear of the Yehudim, besought Pilate that he might take away the body of Rabbi Yeshua, and Pilate gave him leave. He came therefore and took the body of Rabbi Yeshua, and there came also Rav Niktam, which at the first came to Rabbi Yeshua by night, and brought a mixture of myrrh and aloes, about 100-pound weight. Then took they the body of Rabbi Yeshua, and wound it in the linen cloths with the spices, as the manner of the Jews is to bury. Now in the place where he was crucified there was a garden, and in the garden a new sepulchre, wherein was never man yet laid. There laid they Rabbi Yeshua, therefore, because of the Yehudim's preparation day, for the sepulchre was nigh at hand.
Yahweh did not even keep back his son, but offered him up for us all. Have mercy on me, O Elohim, according to your unfailing love, according to your great compassion. Blot out my transgressions. Altogether, wash away all my iniquity, and cleanse me from my sin. For I know my transgressions, and my sin is always before me. Altogether, against you, you only have I sinned, and done what is evil in your sight, so that you are proved right when you speak, and justified when you condemn. Save me from my blood guilt, O Elohim, the Elohim who saves me, and my tongue will sing of your righteousness. Altogether, my sacrifices to Elohim are a broken spirit, and a broken and contrite heart, O Elohim. You will not reject an humble and a repentant heart. Thank you, Jennifer. Please stand. on a hill, a place of curse, went my king of virgin birth. Said a prophet he would go, said by him a ransom show. There he hang at Yah's request, the Lord of Sabbath, give us rest. No more a slave to darkness black, now on evil he attacks. He took captivity, bound in chains, took authority of death, hell, and grave. Rose in glory, Shekinah bold, walked 40 days, the story told. He ascended to his throne as high priest to plead for his own. If you fear the darkness come and are tossed on life's great storm, look to that hill so far away. There his glory shines today. Believe, confess, and he will hear. Reach out today, he'll draw you near. It is finished. You might just have a little bit of the feeling the disciples must have felt when they saw the last bit of life go out of their king as he hung on that tree. Knowing that every one of them had performed miserably. Remember he said, who will betray me? He said, those that dip their fingers in the bowl to eat those herbs with him. Well, they all did that, didn't they? And they all, in their way, betrayed him. And we all have betrayed him in our own lives, haven't we? Aren't you glad he didn't carry a grudge? But he went on that tree for every one of us. If it was just you, he would have gone to the tree. And he saved us from our sins as the atoning lamb that takes away the sin of the world. So for the next part of the unleavened bread time, until we come together on first fruits, yes, we'll be here on Sabbath, and we'll go through the last bit of the chronology so that you can see day by day what was going on. But really, that heaviness will not lift until we celebrate on Yom Bikurim, the Feast of First Fruits, he that is the first fruits of the resurrection, King Messiah Yeshua. So always remember, though the darkness comes, joy comes in the morning. Darkness cannot extinguish the light. Amen. I'll see you again. Well, was that your first one?
No.
Oh. But that was y'all's first one, wasn't it, Jennifer?
Yes, sir.
What did you think? Something in it. Was that... Yes. Was that your first one? Was that your first one?
Yes.
It's awesome, wasn't it? Bring your glasses next time.
I'm sorry.
Come to class prepared, for goodness sakes. I ought to put you out in the